I amputated my leg on the 4th of February in 2006. But prior to that, I had been told a few months earlier, after falling at home, that I had a trauma. And because of the trauma, I had to undergo some form of drainage, and that the drainage was going to equally require some medical procedure. I underwent the medical procedure, went back to school because I was in my second year in university, and went back to school, wasn't getting better, came back to Lagos, went back to the hospital, and then they told me that the procedure was not successful the first time and that I needed to undergo the procedure again. Underwent the procedure again, went back to school, and this time sadly started to deteriorate. Got back home because at this point I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything, and incidentally I knew that the only option after weeks of denial and trying other options, I tried medical, I tried prayer, I did everything, but I was dying slowly, and I could literally see for myself like I was dying because it was cancer, and cancer is when your cells are growing abnormally. So my limb was massive, was my knee, and then it started to extend. And I knew without a doubt that if I needed to stay alive or be alive for my family and for myself, I needed to allow the doctors to amputate my limb, which was what eventually happened. So it was months and months of denial, months and months of accepting the new reality, months and months of not even bothering about what will happen in the nearest future. I wasn't concerned about what will happen in the future. I just wanted solution, and I just wanted to be well again. I wanted to move again. I wanted to not be in pain again. I wanted to be happy again. I wanted to be glad. I wanted to be everywhere because I'm a restless person. So yeah, basically that's from the diagnosis to the final eventual journey of finding myself at the UCH, the University College Hospital in Ibadan, and agreeing with the doctor who had seen me and said it was an orthopedic emergency. I knew that the only option was to amputate my leg, and yes, I accepted on the 4th of February 2006, amputated my leg. When I was told initially that I had to amputate my leg, I was shocked, as almost everybody will be. Shocked, disillusioned. I lived in denial. I did not accept it. I just figured, nah, that's not for me. So it didn't sink in. It took a while for me to understand and accept and finally agreeing with what the doctors had said. So in my case, it wasn't a doctors tell you now and then you accept what it is they're saying. I think the few weeks and the months that went by literally did see me accepting that this was a new reality and the only option was to amputate my limb. So it was a turn of events that eventually made me agree and see very clearly that no choice save to amputate my leg. Well, I thankfully have not had negative thoughts as it concerns my amputation. Well, depressing thoughts, honestly, maybe yes, but not depressing enough to keep me in a very dark place. Thankfully, the moments where I figured I was depressed, I just realized that I needed help and I reached out for the help. A few times I was depressed, or I showed signs of depression, which I did not even know. Loving people around me were able to point it out to me, and that equally helped me to get help from them, to speak about my journey, to speak about where my mind was, to speak about the help that I needed and required. And I think that the Jesus factor, honestly speaking, has just been able to help give me a wellspring of joy. So in the moments where I wake up, for instance, I woke up this morning and I was telling my friends, I just woke up very sad. I woke up very despondent. I clearly knew without a doubt that all that was going to help me was to just worship and to just pray. And for people who do not know, it doesn't make sense, but for people like myself who understand what it means and how effective it is in these moments, because they will come up every now and then, the only anchor and solution that I know is God, friends, food, movies, sometimes, talking about it, sometimes reaching out to someone else who is not as opportune as I am also makes me a little appreciative, and that keeps me grounded and allows me live the reality that I am just fortunate and should be grateful for everything that has happened. So I was in my second year in university, and thankfully, government university, there was strike. So I missed just a semester. But I knew that I needed to go back to school because I didn't want to miss another semester, which would automatically mean an entire year. So after my final course of chemotherapy from the hospital, I just told my father, "Yay, take me back to school." So I went back to school, and my faculty was, of course, in the know that I had been away for a semester. So my faculty knew, and they told me to do as many courses as I knew I could handle. So I did. I split the courses in two halves. The semester I went back to school initially, and the other one. So I found myself taking about 18 courses, and I was in law. I have 40 unit courses, but to the glory of God, till date, that was the best result I ever had throughout my 5-year period in my undergrad. So somewhere in my mind, I just knew that, yeah, God definitely does have a sense of humor. Why it had to be that year when I had like 16 courses to take, 4 unit courses, I got A's and B's, and I wasn't in school the entire semester. I resumed just 2 weeks to the exam, and thankfully they extended it by, I think by another week. And in 3 weeks, I had gone through. It was a bombardment of tutorials. This person is leaving, another person is coming to take me tutorials. And everything came out, results came out, and I got A's and B's. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons why my results never ended up in a third class of some sort, because that year I had very, very, very good grades. So the amputation and the journey, medical journey, did not impede literally my academic year. It just, it just made me take a lot more than I ordinarily would have, and made a lot of people empathetic towards me. My classmates, my course mates, my seniors, my lecturers, my faculty officer, my dean, and all of that. Well, my ambition did not stop me from studying law. Second year, went back to school. Third year, fourth year, fifth year, went to law school, NYSC. It was a choice not to practice law. And I just knew I wasn't going to practice law for my court office attachment. My law office attachment and my court attachment, it was just burdensome. And I knew that this was not the life I was on about. So I don't think my amputation stopped me. I believe very strongly that if I had decided that I wanted to practice, I believe that I would have risen in the ranks. Years and years after my my call to bar, I believe very strongly I would have risen in the ranks. But I just chose by myself, volition, to not practice. And then my journey into media is another story entirely. But yeah, I don't think my amputation had any part to play. I got the job. I was good on the job. I interned. I got the interview, and it hasn't stopped me from getting things. Honestly speaking, I think it's just opened more doors. And sometimes we try to take advantage of it. There's a queue. My friends want to do it. Just say, "Calm down. Just go and beg them." All of that stuff. But we're just having fun. Nothing dramatic, thankfully. So I think I'm still one of the very few that are very opportune to not have had the amputation impede them or stop them from doing several things. Well, did I lose friends? I think that the people who I thought were friends that I may have thought that I lost are people who eventually did come back but never understood what it was at the time when it happened. So I didn't lose friends. Family members who didn't understand what I was going through, who had never understood what cancer was, who were scared, who just decided to take a break. Eventually showed up again when I was back, and I had undergone chemo, and life had started again. So I don't think I lost friends, honestly speaking, and I'm very grateful that that never happened to me. All people that were by me at the time when I was going through what I went through were people who still stood by me, and maybe some of us may have matured now, or the friendships, we've outgrown each other, which is okay in the circle of life. But I think for every single one of them, we are still, somewhere where if we need each other, we can always reach out to one another and just help each other. Well, I think that My parents, incidentally, I told my father to recount his story to me. And my mom is the only one I think has had an experience where she had been made fun of and told me. So I don't know if it has happened to any other person. Besides, it was only me, my mom, and my dad. I'm an only child. So I don't know if anything has happened to my father's. But my mom called me and she wasn't going to tell me. She told me, I found out weeks and months after it happened. She had this argument with this neighbor who was indebted to her, and from nowhere, refusing to pay, the debt, the woman just goes, hey, after all, your daughter has one leg, yada, yada, yada. And my mom just, shares the story with me, and, when she wasn't there, I cried because it was none of her fault. And it wasn't something she had power, none of us had power over it. Eventually, the neighbor came around and apologized, went to bring people to apologize to my mom that she was out of line and it was inappropriate for her to have spoken that way. And yeah, I think everybody moved on with forgiving. I have forgiven her. I think my parents, both of them, have forgiven her. My family has forgiven the woman concerned, and I hope she has forgiven herself as well. My experience with living in Nigeria and being to a few other places out of the country just always frustrates you as a person living with disability. But I think that the best that can happen is for people like myself who are opportune to, speaking up every now and then, to keep talking to the government and the private building facility owners, that you need to understand that when they talk about being inclusive, when we come to people with various forms of disability, it's not just about the ramps. There are many other things. There's the braille. There is, it differs for several forms of disability. Imagine that our airlines do not even have very good ramps at the airports. Our airlines do not have good wheelchairs, and at the airports we do not have good ramps, we do not have facilities. These are things that just frustrate you. But I believe as a Nigerian, if you can survive here, you literally can survive everywhere. So it's every day you wake up, there's a different battle, and I'm learning to choose my battle. So I go to a building, they don't have facility for someone like me. Sometimes I bring down the heavens and the earth. Sometimes I just mind myself and do what it is I have to do, however long it takes, and then I get out of the building. I always make sure I leave a comment. I always leave a comment. You should do better. You can do better. This is wrong. Because disability doesn't necessarily mean my form of disability. There are several other forms of disability, and we should all have an inclusive society at the end of the day. I don't notice these things, honestly speaking. I don't notice whether you are nice, you like me, you are looking at me, you're staring at me, you have questions. I absolutely don't notice. So I don't necessarily, it's like a soundboard. It comes and it goes. It doesn't stay on me. Because as humans, you have to choose your party. A lot of people don't understand what it is. So I'm in the place where, honestly, my watchword now is love. It's hard, but I'm trying to love the unlovable. And as a person who understands kingdom, I know that it's easy to love people who are loving to you, but that's not what I'm being called to at all the times. So when there are days you meet me and I'm very friendly and I tell you, hey, you're staring, do you want to know what happened? And there are days you're staring, I'm like, do you mind? Can you, I'm self-conscious now because of you, and I feel like you're staring too much at me. So it differs in my mood and several other factors. Yeah. God, my strength comes from God, and I don't think I'll ever underestimate it. I'm not mincing words. I don't have any self-help book. I don't have any of that. My joy, my strength, who I am, who I'm not, everything is all centered around God. And I kid you not, nothing in this world ever equates what the joy that God gives. There's a well in every human, and you decide what it is that you put in there. I have decided that joy will be the wellspring from which I draw out every single day. There are days I'm not tired, there are days I'm absolutely not in the mood. I continue to use the joy of the Lord to draw out the strength and the joy that I need. It comes from God. My inspiration comes from people I work with. I work with the Radio Foundation, and we provide children with prosthetic limbs. if I'm sad, and I remember my 2-year-old amputee friend in Lagos or my 3-year-old amputee friend, it it re-energizes me. I recently started Amputees United, and every single day I meet someone virtually or physically, and there's always a need for us to be constantly helping each other, holding hands, and just helping and encouraging. That is where we would love to cry, and I love the fact that I have people around me, fully bodied, able-bodied, or people living different forms of disability, who literally will allow us to cry together, laugh together, joke together, play together, and we're real. So it's not every day all high, but honestly, on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe 7.5% all high. I'm trying to get to the place where it's 9.5% high. Some people say it's absolutely impossible. I think it's possible, and who knows, maybe 100%, possibly. Yes, I'm writing a book. I'm excited, and my book will be out very, 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 very soon. And it's basically my journey. It's my journey in the last how many years I've been amputated, and a little bit of things I consciously have left out from almost all the interviews I've done, because I believe that as Africans, there are many things that we need to know, especially from the experiences of people. So I'm super excited that my book will be out. I'm super excited that lives should be changed. I'm super excited that finally I'll get some relief off my shoulder. Super excited that I would be able to recount my story as it happened from my standpoint, as it happened from the standpoint of my father, as it happened from the standpoint of onlookers, my friends. And who knows, maybe I'm a lover, a former lover. You never can tell. So just wait for the book, and it promises to be an exciting. I'm super excited about it and everything that will come from it. No, I'm not. Somebody's probably going to have his head cut off. Like, what did she just say? We're not. Yeah, whatever. Well, honestly, I will not say I'm in a relationship right now. I'm not. I'd rather just say that when it's time to get married, everybody will know. So I'm not married yet, and I'll be married. Never been bothered about whether I'll marry or not. I think it will come. I've always wanted to adopt kids, so who knows? That will probably come sometime soon. But yeah, I think I'm in a happy place now. I think, okay, so I was in a relationship before I had gotten the initial diagnosis, and we're having our issues. So I'm not sure, to be very honest, if we probably may have continued the relationship if I had not had the diagnosis, or had not had a need to take time off school, away from school rather. So I'm not sure how that would have panned out. But of course, I had been in a relationship prior to the whole thing, and still holding on to some faith somewhere. Yeah, it will happen. I remember my cousin telling me, or literally rejigging me and hitting me back to reality about the whole possibility or not about this said relationship. So we had our faults, we had the issues that had come, but honestly, I do not know, and I'm not preempting the likelihood that, we may have continued. But yes, I had been in a relationship prior to the diagnosis, and I don't think we're friends though, but I was in a relationship. Was I in love with him? I don't think I was. I don't think I was in love with him. I'm not sure he was in love with me then, but yeah. Are we friends? No, we're not friends, because friends means that we are. No, we're not. We're not friends. We're probably acquaintances, and it's been a while though. Not, been a while honestly by choice of mine. I remember the said person sent me a friend request maybe a year or two ago, and I declined. In my mind, I'm like, it's okay. No hard feelings, we moved on, let's just, So, I remember having a final conversation, and I think it gave me closure with the said gentleman, and we spoke. I did finally hear him out, and I also did speak. So I think there was a misconception that there was a need for him to come apologize to me, and I honestly did not feel there was a need to. But I then listened to him. Then we had a conversation, and I don't think it was not a physical conversation. Interestingly enough, maybe if we ever had the opportunity of having a physical conversation sometime in the future, but right now I met him at the mall, and for the life of me, there was no animosity in my mind. He was shocked. He probably thought, but there I was excited. When you say you see your ex and you're looking also, one of those moments. So yeah, it was, I don't have anything. Honestly, life has moved on, man. I probably would have been married by now. Would I still have been carrying animosity? Nah, it's not worth it. This morning, I told my friend that I think I'm about to break down and I need time away from everyone. And I remember the friend look at me and say, "Oh wow, me inclusive." I say, "Yes, I need a breather." I have learned to refill, which is not something that the average Nigerian knows to do. We just walk, and die. I'm learning to take time off. I'm learning to literally breaking free in my mind, and it's translating to physical activities. Twice this year, I've climbed mountains. I was hoping to doing about 4 or 5, but who knows before the end of the year. So I'm excited that I did that. I'm excited I learned to swim. I already know to drive. I got a tattoo finally. I was hoping that I could skydive and all of that stuff. But I'm sure that sometime soon before the end of the year, these things will happen. And these are things that just make me break free in my mind and also refuel and understand that there's so much more to life than just the Lagos hustling and bustling. Sometimes just look for one small change, go to one hotel, maybe in one part of the mainland, and just sleep for the weekend and just shut down and just do a little vacation with yourself, do room service. And, I try to do these things. I try to take time off work. I know my friend Maiwa very much understands that food excites me. So whenever I'm sad, she's, "Okay, where do you want to eat?" She always knows I have a place in my mind I want to go eat at. So these are a few things that I do. Nail colors excite me a lot. So sometimes you just see me paint my nail colors, like, yay, I'm excited. Helping people, seeing people smile, helping people understand what starting the journey of purpose has started to give me fulfillment. I'm excited about Jesus. I'm excited about new revelations in Jesus. I'm excited about new journey with Jesus. I'm going to find Jesus sometime soon. I'm going to Bethel Church in Redding, California, second time this year. I'm excited about that. So these are things that excite me, and very soon I will be going to Israel, and I'm super excited about that as well. Wow, any place in the world, all expert. One place? Jesus. I will go right now to Santorini with my friend Tombra. She wants to go there and I want to make it happen for her. It's not like she has really done plenty of things in my life lately, but yeah, if I can, I will go to Santorini. And honestly, the dream is to go to Santorini with Bay. I'm tired of going on holiday with Tombra, but in the absence of Bay up until that time, I'll go with Tombra. And maybe on our way back, we'll just stop at Maldives and maybe Madagascar, Morocco. Does it include all those? Maybe South Africa and all those other places, Zanzibar, Tanzania, Namibia, Zimbabwe. Have I counted? Just one place. Okay, sorry. Yeah, one place, Santorini. Fashion. I'm not a very fashionable person. They have glammed me up today. Everybody doesn't recognize me. I love my low cut. I love my colored hair. Honestly, I love those two things a lot. And yes, very recently, I found love, white sneakers. White sneakers gives me life. White sneakers excites me. White sneakers just re-energizes me. White sneakers gives me hope. I literally walk into a place and I see a person that I do not know wearing white sneakers and I'm just excited. I'm like, oh my God, white sneakers. This is so lit. So I would love comfort a lot. My fashion sense is comfort. I love colors. I started to like colors like 2-3 years ago because all my life is white and black, white and black. Colors. I love my hair. I do not like wigs. I like to braid my hair once a year. Braided it twice this year. My front hair has chopped. I don't like There's one hair that everybody does now, one wool and one thread hair. I cannot stand it. I'm sorry. But yeah, I love white sneakers. I'm hoping that Adidas or brands would give me a discount code and everybody can get white sneakers and just be a part of the white sneakers movement. It just signifies purity to me, signifies peace, it signifies love and joy. And yeah, that's a summary of the hashtag for the love of white sneakers. So if you ever get to wear white sneakers, ever post a picture on Instagram, tag me, literally, for the love of white sneakers. And I promise you I'll repost on my timeline. Yeah, my handle, Adenike Oyetunde. Yeah. I'm an only child. I've always wanted a truckload of kids. My mom wants kids. My mom wants like 10 children. Yeah, I'm just messing. But school fees, yeah, probably just stick with 2 kids. I always wanted to adopt a kid, so maybe 1 or 2, so maybe 4 kids overall. Yeah. How do I leisure? Lately, I've been not doing the right things with my leisure time. Yeah. So, but ordinarily, I will listen to music. Honestly speaking, I'm a Bethel music person. I listen to music, Bethel music, Gloria Brahman, Musa, Nathaniel Bassi. I listen to music a lot. Movies, series. I love to be driven at night. It excites me. Love good food, good food. And yeah, these are just a few things that I do during my life. I try to read, but in the last 2 months, I have not been keeping up with my read a book a month. And I have like so many books I have to read. I've started Kevin Hart's autobiography. Up next is Angie Martinez and blah, blah, blah. I like autobiographies a lot. It just gives me a picture into the lives of the people that are writing and makes it easier for me. So you're not telling me 10 steps to make money. And yeah, I'm reading your life story, how you made the money, which is why autobiographies always get for me. Recently read Trevor Noah's book, and I think it changed my life forever and changed my perception of that young man and his creativity. So, yeah. Challenges happen to every human being, dearly beloved. You lose money today, you are challenged. Your house rent is increased, you are challenged. Challenges happen to everyone. You are the author of your own joy, I kid you not. And for me who understands God's role, there's always something to be grateful for. It might be very little, but I promise you there's always something to be grateful for. And that doesn't necessarily mean the thing to be grateful for is personal. It might be the story of the next person by you, and you're thankful that that person's mom or dad or lover did not pass on. So there's always something to be grateful for. You decide how it is what you want to live. I did a post this morning, something about staying positive is a conscious act. I feel pain and I'm sad sometimes, but I choose happiness above all. And that is why I am who I am today, evolving to becoming the person that God has created me to be. So whatever the challenges are, I would rather not even stick with disability, let's be honest, because that's not the only form. A health challenge, financial issues, fertility issues, relationship matters, issues with the kids, with your spouse, with your in-laws. These things exist. And if I know God, the best thing for you to do is to run back to Him to say, what are you saying and what are you about in this season? That's the only reason and place you will get joy. My mentor always tells me, come into your own, enter rest, and His name is Jesus. So I say same to you and hope that with these few words of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that staying happy far outweighs any challenges that you're faced with.